Good morning and welcome to the Morning Talk News and Current Affairs. Today I'm very fortunate to have with me a very special person who might be giving answers to the questions that you as an OFW have raised for so many years. That's when the Morning Talk News returns. Just as I promised, please welcome my guest for today, Engineer Erwin Piala, the financial consultant and advisor for Vistaland, all the way from Dubai. Sir Erwin, or Engineer Erwin, welcome to the Morning Talk News and Current Affairs, and welcome to Kuwait, sir.
Salamat, Rick, and thank you very much for having this opportunity to have an interview with me.
I'm going to raise you a few questions that I think the OFWs will find very good answers to coming from you.
Okay.
Well, probably first question that I have is, sir, being a financial advisor for the OFWs as well in the Middle East, what is the what do you think is the most viable business that an OFW could, well, in order of, let's say, 3 or 5, in order of preferences that you always encounter, you think would be safe for the OFWs to invest money with?
Right to the heart of your question, my personal answer for that, based on my experience, was the best way that an OFW to start with, the moment he comes into this land, wherever you are, in the Middle East, in Europe, or in the United States, or wherever you are, is to invest your money to the basic needs of this life. First is you have food as a basic need. Next is you have clothing. Next is you have shelter. The fourth one, now we are being taught before only 3, but now there are 5. The fourth one is communication, and the fifth one is transportation. Yeah. But of all these 5 basic needs, when you eat your food, what comes out of it? When you go into a 5-star hotel, when you eat all those nice food, what comes out of it?
It's waste.
It's most likely it's gonna waste. And if you keep on doing that, that's good if you do it sometimes, but if you keep on doing that, it's gonna go to waste. If, for example, if you buy your clothing, what comes out of your clothing? Nice clothes, what comes out of it? That's no value later on. Walang value. The third one is you cannot get out from your house if you don't bring your phones, right? So the third basic needs in this life is communication today. And the fourth one is transportation. But I would really tell you, the first time that you are with W, if you have that proper financial awareness, you put it in real estate. And it's a proper selection of real estate. When I said proper location of real estate, it must be in a proper location in such a way that this property is gonna give you a return of investment that you need in the next 10, 15 years, that it will generate a passive income that is more than what you need.
Before they could literally purchase a property or invest in a property that they wanted to take, what are the common problems that they face, and how do you address those problems?
The most common problem for us, especially for those OFW who would try to invest in real estate, is it's the basic understanding on what a real estate is. Once they hear that the property is worth 3 million, the property is worth 2 million, they would automatically would step back and will say, that's too expensive for me.
It's frightening, the price.
Yeah, it's frightening. The price is so frightening.
Yeah, I agree.
But then we forget that in most of the time today, a lot of financial institutions are offering, I would say this is basically based on loans that you could afford to pay on a monthly basis, and at such a time that in the next 2-3 years, maximum of 5 years, that you will be paying for the down payment of that property before it is being turned over. So again, the benefit of understanding what is the value of that property you are putting into as an investment for you is less understood. Normally, an OFW would just say, all right, and I will have a condominium unit, which I believe is probably
2-3 million.
about 2 to 3 million.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to do with it?
Right.
Well, most of us does not understand that in the next 10, 15 years from now, the maximum benefit of all these properties that we are getting at would be somehow, it will generate a passive income, which is
So it's what you call that the return of investment.
return of investment that is most likely more than what you need. Properly, at the moment, at the Philippines, it is the best option now to really invest in the property because Philippines, we know it, is in a very good position in terms of a property appraisal. As in being an emerging market and being the best country in the world wherein you are going to put your investment, then being OFW, we must be the first group of people who should be investing on real estate property.
Those who are watching out there, that regardless of what kind of profession you're in, whether you are a household helper, whether you earn such amount as about 150, 120 KD, if investing and paying like about 3,000 pesos for that, I think it's worth it. It's not that kind of thing that you wanted to purchase like 6-7 million.
Yeah, but
right?
Definitely it would depend now on your capability and on how much you would like to push yourself. If you are a person who's somehow capable of paying 30,000 pesos for a property, and you know very well that this 30,000 pesos could afford you to give you an ROI that is more than enough.
Bigger.
Yeah, bigger, much bigger. So why not go for a 30,000? Now, most of us are suddenly would be afraid to invest more than, let's say, 30% of our salary, because 30% of our salary is quite big.
Yes.
But definitely, if we're looking for a bright future wherein we could afford to sit down and receive an income more than what we need, there's no better way really than putting your money in real estate. Unless if you're telling me now that you're a good businessman, but it will take some time. It will take some
and debts. And somehow it's so like difficult to go and come out of it, of this situation. Now, how would you relate? What would you advise an OFW who is in this situation at the same time go into an investment mode? You finish up the thing and then go into investment mode. How do you do this process?
Being an OFW, you must be able to calculate what is your capacity. Now, if you're an OFW, who are those part of those people who really are embedded into debt, the first thing that you should do, and my advice is this: you must pay it. Push yourself to pay that debt. If it will take that you have to pay it as much as 50% of your salary every month, then do it.
Simple message lang po for all the overseas Filipino workers, not only in Kuwait but in the Middle East.
All right. First thing first is, please, I would suggest go get a proper financial awareness. This is the bottom of all. Before you proceed with any forms of investment, before you proceed with any forms of getting loans from the bank, get proper awareness. There are a lot of institutions. Wherever you go to Dubai, you go to Abu Dhabi, you go to Qatar, you go here in Kuwait, there are institutions, there are embassies who could help us who could advise us on how to manage our finances and somehow how to get proper financial awareness. This is something, Rick, that we never get when we are studying in schools. Right. Actually, even if we are engineers, even if we are accountants, we never get proper financial awareness.
Engineer Erwin, thank you so much for gracing this very short time. I hope we can have more time, but this show has a very limited time, so thank you very much.
Rick, it's my pleasure, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to talk in your show. And at the same time, I really hope that this will reach to millions of OFW out there for them to be able to really understand that the first thing first is really to get a proper financial awareness. Thank you very much, Rick.
Your schedule, would you like to promote your schedule? What are the next financial literacy programs?
Financial literacy, we're conducting financial literacy every month here in Kuwait. On April, I will be here on 17th until 20th of April. So
this is under Vistaland.
Under Vistaland, yes, of course.
Yeah, okay.
So if you are interested, and this is really based on my personal experience being an OFW here for the last 15 years, it would really give you a lot of insights on how to properly manage your finances. Rick, thank you very much. Really appreciate so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. For those who would like to know where Vistaland is, it's right at the bottom of the screen right now. The address and the phone numbers and the people you need to contact. So I hope that's it, ladies and gentlemen. And to our dear OFWs, I hope we answered all the questions that you have. For the Morning Talk News and Current Affairs, I'm Ricky Laksa. Magandang umaga po.